Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I want to welcome everybody here today on this great event to sign the final papers to really implement our new Treasure Island. But all the people here in back of me, I want to really spend the time thanking them and all the people involved, because when you have a project that has lasted decades in the works, where you're working with federal agencies, the Navy, all the funding that we didn't have, developers who we had to make sure were together time and time again with us, residents who had to have the confidence that our city can not only treat them well, but also plan for their future with them and working with them. Groups such as those that are homeless, those that are on the lower end of our housing affordability. All of that has come together over decades of very, very hard work. And right up until last week, that work continued at the highest level in order to make this happen. But I need to spend a moment thanking those people who have been before me in this position and in other federal positions, because they have their history marked in many, many years of very essential contributions to this plan, but to the workings of the island and to the vision that is being presented today. And first off, Senator Feinstein, just want to thank her deeply for her contributions. Leader Pelosi for all of the leadership that she's had in getting us the funding time and time again. Former Mayor Willie Brown, of course, Willie, his vision for the island. Of course, the only thing I have to apologize is about that casino idea, so that still isn't. Lieutenant Governor Newsom, my predecessor, Gavin, thank you for his wonderful contributions. And when he was supervisor, and now he's still helping us with this directly, former supervisor, of course, Assemblyman Tom Amiano. Thank him very much for this. You know, I only carry these cards. There's so many people to thank. I want to begin with the team, the incredible city staff team that has worked for many years on this project. And it started out with Rich Hillis. Michael Timoff and John Yolis from Office of Economic Development, right? The incredible work and still ongoing work of our city attorney's office that has been wonderful in crafting good language that people not only believe in that are living around, but living on the island, but also the delicate legal issues that had to be presented. And they include Eileen Mali, Charles Sullivan, John Malamet. John, good to see you. Andrea Ruiz Esquida, thank you. Our city attorney's office. And thank you to your boss for giving you the time to do this as well. From our city planning, and I know John Ram, I don't see him here, but incredible time from David Allenbaugh, Josh Switsky, Kevin Guy, and Rick Cooper. City planning, thank you. From our MTA, and I want to thank Nat Ford for releasing the good work of Sonali Rose, Gail Stein, and Peter Albert. Thank you. Our SF Municipal Transportation Agency. From our PUC, Ed Harrington, thank you very much for allowing us to work with Michael Carlin. Thank you, Michael, for your great work. And then Doug Schumacher, where's Doug? Is Doug here? Thank you, Doug, for your great work on this, on the Mayor's Office of Housing. Then there are members, great members of our Treasure Island Development Authority, our board of directors. They include, for many years, including Claudine Chang. Thank you, Claudine. Larry Del Carlo. Thank you, Larry. Larry Del Carlo. Larry Mazzola Jr., John Oberling. Linda Richardson. Thank you, Linda. Mark Dunlop and Jean-Paul Samaha. Thank you. Thank you, Treasure Island Developing Authority. To members of the Treasure Island Citizens Advisory Board, countless hours from our citizens involved in every way, and especially the president, Karen Knowles Pierce. Thank you, Karen. And she's worked so well with the other island residents. They include Becky Hogue, Mark Connors, and Johanna Luddington. Thank you. We have our organizations on Treasure Island, ones that have been working really hard with us, not only in this, but so many other important things that represent our city. Beginning with the Executive Director of the Treasure Island Homeless Development Initiative, Sherry Williams. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. Job well done. Member organizations that are included in this initiative have been the Boys and Girls Club of San Francisco, Catholic Charities, Community Housing Partnerships, the Haight-Ashbury Free Clinics, Mercy Housing, Rubicon, Swords to Plowshares, Toolworks, and Walden House. Thank you very much for your collaboration. And to our development partners who we've come to know and to cherish and to live with and to talk out a lot of issues at the state level, at the federal level, and then at our local level. And they, of course, the Treasure Island Community Development under Chris Meany of Wilson Meany Sullivan, and of course Kofi Banu, who isn't here. But thank Chris Meany for being here. Thank you. Let me see if I've gotten everything else. I think I've gotten everything here. And I know we have other speakers here, but I know we have a number of members of the Board of Supervisors that I want to thank, each and every one of them. We have here, of course, Jane Kim, David Chu, and Carmen Chu that are here. I think, it's Scott Wiener, Mark Farrell. They're here as well. Thank you. Anybody else like me? And there may be more incoming. I want to give, of course, a special thanks. I know not only Jane, but her staff has worked really hard to spend the time necessary to explain to everybody what this is all about, and to also make sure that the commitments that were made by the city family are actually honored. They're actually carried out, whether they're affordable housing, whether they're transportation, whether they're the open space and the parking challenges that we'll face, or whether they're just the simple communications of what this is all about. And I'd like to invite today up here to speak Supervisor Jane Kim.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. It's, I got to come to the end of a really long process, close to 14 years of a development project in the last 6 months of it. And really, it's amazing how much can happen in the last 6 months. But so many people were involved in this project for many, many years, and Mayor Lee actually acknowledged all of them, both several mayoral administrations, past supervisors, including my predecessor, Supervisor Chris Daly, our developer partners, TIDA, and of course our Citizen Advisory Committee. For me, I look at large developments with a really careful lens because they have a huge impact on the city of San Francisco and also shape what our city looks like. One thing that I'm really proud about this project, which I can't take credit for, was the immense community outreach and input and process that went into this development. And to talk to folks that were formerly homeless, saying that they felt like their input was heard and taken into account into what this new neighborhood is going to look like. We're talking about up to 2,400 units of affordable housing for the city of San Francisco, something that our city desperately needs. Something to be clapped for. And really an unprecedented number of units going to supportive units for our formerly homeless community as well. And I know Sherry Williams and many of the community-based organizations who I'm a huge fan of their work here in the city will continue to not only provide affordable housing, but actually support this community as well. So we're looking at a mixed income neighborhood in Treasure Island. Treasure Island will have an impact on the city, and really want to thank Supervisor Ross Mercarimi and President David Chu for introducing some changes to the development agreement, which will help mitigate some of these impacts. And of course, really want to thank the mayor's office for being a really good partner on this project and working with our office. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. And it does take a lot of teamwork, and I think we are resurging that teamwork at City Hall. And I know that the work of David Chu at the board presidency as a supervisor has been instrumental in doing that. I want to get David up here to say a few words and to also signal that, you know, we don't often get an 11-0 vote. I remember one. I remember one other vote. But David Chu, Board President, you've really been working hard on this. But come on up and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to say it takes a village to build a village, and I want to thank the village behind me. I want to thank the village in front of us. And let me say this, over the past year, we have put 10,000 units of new housing in the southeast part of the city with the Shipyard Project. We are putting 8,900 units of new housing on the west side city with the approvals that we just did last week at Park Merced. And with a much more comfortable 11-0 vote, moving forward with thousands of new units of housing on Treasure Island, I can't say how proud I am of our city for coming together. We've been talking for years about how important it is to build new neighborhoods, to develop new affordable housing, to make sure we have transit-oriented, sustainable green development that really is worthy of a 21st century San Francisco. And what we are doing today, and frankly what we're doing this year, is going to have impacts on this city for decades to come. So thank you all for being part of this, and I look forward to that ribbon cutting.
Any others? Okay. Chris Meany on the development team. You know, you excited us with the development when it first came out. You know, one of the greenest developments you could possibly see. This city continues to be excited by this development because of the wonderful work that you're doing to be environmentally friendly, to have a development that the residents can be proud of and the city can be proud of. Chris Meany.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of Treasure Island Community Development and my partners, Lennar Urban, Kenwood, Stockbridge, Real Estate Funds, we just want to say thank you to the city family. And on this occasion, which is a happy occasion, I just want to recall how we began so many years ago with a discussion in this building that at Treasure Island we could not only create a new neighborhood for San Francisco that set a national standard in sustainability, but that we could do it in a new and different way than land use had been practiced in the city, and that we could come together and craft a plan together. And the happiest part of the situation today is we stand with a terrific plan that was not our plan. It was our collective plan that was crafted together and in public, and that long process ended up thanks to the leadership of Supervisor Kim, Supervisor Chu, in this really terrific 11-0 vote. Thank you to the city staff, and thank you to all that participated with us.
And finally, but most importantly, you can have the greatest plans, you can have the best designs, but if you don't connect up with the people who actually live on the island, the people who need a place to live, a decent place to live, but also be part of this great city. I want to thank Sherry Williams of Tie Dye. Please come on up, Sherry.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. I just, I want to thank the mayor. You know, he is I guess the fourth mayor we've worked on this project. But, you know, he pushed us over the finish line, and we're grateful. So thank you very much for that. The Treasure Island Homeless Development Initiative, known as Tie-Dye, we've been at the reuse planning table since 1994. So we are, this is a major milestone for us. And this plan is really unique in San Francisco because it's not just affordable housing, but it's affordable housing for people with the lowest to no income, formerly homeless families and individuals. It's unprecedented, and there's also an enormous amount of opportunity for formerly homeless people to gain job and job training opportunities through this plan again, as well. And we want to acknowledge the work of Supervisor Kim. It was already acknowledged that her and her staff worked very hard over the last few months to make sure that all of the goals in the plan that we've worked so hard to achieve were going to be real and meaningful. And so we want to just thank you for all the work that you did. Thank you so much. And thank you. And over the years, we've had a really great partnership, a community partnership with the Treasure Island Development Authority. The board has been amazing. They've had the vision of including low-income and formerly homeless people from the ground up, from the start. And so just want to thank and acknowledge the Treasure Island Development Authority for all their support over the years. And Miriam Sayas, who we work with every day, the Director of Operations out on Treasure Island. I want to thank her. And really, I know Supervisor Chu said it takes a village to build a village, but it truly has been that kind of story. And I think that's why you have the 11-0 vote, because it really has been not just the city government doing anything or the developers doing something unilaterally or one group being more represented than the other. It's really been an iterative process where we've all collectively worked for a common purpose and a common vision, and one that's going to serve all San Franciscans. So I just want to thank the developers, too, with the integrity that they brought to the table, the Citizen Advisory Board that they've brought to the table, and all the members of the tie-dye organizations that have come to numerous hearings, spent numerous hours at City Hall, the residents of Treasure Island that have been part of this. So really, from the ground up, everybody's been a part of this vision to make a new San Francisco neighborhood that includes all San Franciscans. Thank you very much.
So I do want to make sure you know that anybody can come on Treasure Island. And I know Mayor and Sias would love you to come on, because right now we're about to see that Bliss Dancer sculpture dance as we sign this legislation. So, right, we're ready to party? Okay, let's get this done. Today is June 15, right?
Yeah, it's 2011.
Okay, this is for you. All right. David, this is. Oh. Karen? Karen? Thank you. All right, thank you. All right. Last one, And Sherry, this is for you.